Tonight, on the Curse of Oak Island. Maybe today we'll find the one thing. I think we're right on target for that tunnel. Keep your eyes peeled. Guy's Suite. What is that? We found a copy of the Corona document. That document will lead us to a Templar voyage to the New World, including Oak Island. We have the first evidence. The French were here. Whoa, what you got? I think he hit the tunnel from Chef 6. There is an island in the North Atlantic where people have been looking for an incredible treasure for more than 200 years. So far, they have found a stone slab with strange symbols carved into it, mysterious fragments of human bone, and a LED cross whose origin may stretch back to the days of the Knights Templar. Today, 6 men have died trying to solve the mystery, and according to legend, 1 more will have to die before the treasure can be found, for brothers Rick and Marnie Lagina, and members of their team, the keys to solving the 223-year-old Oak Island mystery may be closer than ever, hey mate. We're going to go with HI4, not looking for much of anything. Till least 90 feet sounds good. Then I will start firming up, making sure we're getting good samples. Okay, the key looking for a tunnel at the 100-foot level, maybe a little deeper, sounds good. Okay, all right. In recent weeks, an ambitious seismic survey of the island has revealed a number of possible underground voids which may be connected to the original Oak Island treasure shaft discovered in 1795. There is a wood so far. The seismic results have guided the team to the remains of a possible tunnel at a depth of 93 feet, along with evidence of human activity, some 170 feet deep underground. Somebody set these things with an axe. You can see it today. The team has begun drilling a new exploratory borehole in an area known as high form, or seismic imaging, detected a possible network of tunnels at a depth of 100 feet. We've got 2 well locations that hit wood. That to me look like tunnel, because of the mount you found. Right, these are the shafts, and that's the direction the tunnel would go. I4, yeah. And that's in general, conventional wisdom indicates that the money fell was right. Okay, so we'll see. It was while excavating in this same area last year that the team encountered an object they believed to be the so-called Chapel Vault. At a depth of some 170 feet. It feels like I'm on a whole bunch of wood at once. Now the vault, which was first discovered by treasure hunters, William Chappell and Frederick Blair, in 1897, was estimated to be a large, 7-foot-tall wooden structure. After drilling through it, the drill bit out in Jerusalem, or he claimed to have recovered priceless religious treasures, including the Ark of the Covenant, but also a Templar voyage to the New World. In the year 1178, more than 3 centuries before Christopher Columbus made landfall in North America. I don't know if this is 100% accurate. I don't write. I do believe with 100% certainty that it's worth some commitment of ours to try to come to an understanding whether not only is this relevant, but is it accurate? Here's my thought. We've now come into possession of some remarkable research, a lifetime's worth of research. Literally, to that end, I propose that we establish a research centre, a place where we can gather the information regarding our work, our pursuit of answers for the Oak Island mystery, and commit ourselves to that endeavour I want to carry her work forward. I do, once seen as researchers here and host here. It will foster the sense of that information. Hunt is indeed important. I believe there's a lot more to glean from her research. And who knows where those paths lead us. I think the future of that research is in his legacy, if you will. Is in very good hands on Oak Island. Yeah. It sounds to me like the research centre idea is timely. 'Cause you know it's going to take some real digging to mess with this. So keep going. Keep digging is all I can say. and see try and separate our fact from fiction. I'm gonna make certain that we follow up on this good job, you guys, alright? See ya, talk to you later. Bye, what hole are we on? I4H. Okay, following their meeting in the war room. Craig Tester and Charles Barkhouse return to the money pit area to check on the drilling progress of borehole. Chai form a location where recent seismic scanning indicates a man-made tunnel might exist some 100 feet below. This is 118. Yeah. As the sonic rig advances, the drill barn deeper into the ground. A specialized coring barrel on the end will extract samples of earth and any objects or evidence in intervals of up to 10 feet. All right, here we go. We're casing to 118. Right now, what's on the table is 19 to 118. Okay, these samples will then be carefully examined by the team for any evidence of the tunnel, and hopefully any important artifacts or treasure they might contain. So let's look at this with much interest. Keep your eyes peeled, guys. This is sticky solid. Oh, that's wood, that horizontal little bit, you know? It came this way, so 45-ish. Yeah, but it's coming in a little bit of an angle. But, you know, could have been a yep. Could have been a collapse board. Yep. Flip that over that very flat surface. That's the edge of your timber, yeah. I think we're right on target for that tunnel. I think we're right in the general area. I really think we're in such a material. The presence of undisturbed or in situ soil means that the wood the team has found is likely from a centuries old. Man-made structure. Could it be one of the infamous flood tunnels designed to protect the priceless treasure? Or might it be a tunnel that leads to the treasure itself, guys? You got your own personal swamp going on here. Yes, where we at? 9 to 118. No, looks like a cut piece here. And what's interesting about this, that was almost horizontal. Oh, Charles, what do you think about finding the wood at this step? We could possibly be in your debris field, the tunnel going from shaft 6 to the money pit. A tunnel leading to the money pit. In 1861, a team of treasure hunters attempted to reach the bottom of the original money pit and avoid the flood tunnels by digging an adjacent shaft down to a depth of 118 feet from there. They began tunneling some 18 feet east in the hopes of entering from underneath the floor of the suspected treasure chamber. Unfortunately, as the team dug closer, the tunnel known as Shaft 6 started flooding with seawater. Haunting the efforts, just days later, workers reported, carrying a series of horribly loud crashes, below leading to speculation that the money pit had collapsed, scattering tons of lumber and possible treasure across a deep, flooded debris field. Shaft 6 at the time, they dug it. They knew exactly where the original money pit was. We can find the phone. We can track it back to the original location. The money pit, and there you are. It is Shaft 6, Bin Long shot. Record show, 118. Would be the bottom of it. Yeah, we just don't depends on which end you're at, yeah. Exactly, because that thing was 18 feet long. But if it's clear and you really knew it was 6, and then you knew which end you were at, and then you could infer where the money pit was. Yeah. Because the location of Shaft 6 has been lost for over a century. Finding what appears to be evidence of an old Serger tunnel could be an exciting breakthrough. If the Oak Island team can determine which part of the shaft they have discovered, it could help them pinpoint the exact position of the original money pit. This is 6. Something's gonna come up in that car. Okay, here comes. That's a big wood, right here. Look at there. Yeah, that's a little interesting. That's the floor of the tunnel, right there. Now that guy's pretty good with Shaft 6 and its tunnel. What does that tell us to do? Move over. Try to track that further. See if that's a shaft or not. Yeah, I agree. So, yeah. What are we at right now? So we're at 128, 128. Yeah, there's no point in going deeper. No having reached a depth of 128 feet, some 10 feet below the bottom of shaft 6, the Oak Island team sees little purpose in continuing to dig borehole. AGI form instead, they will choose another drill site in an effort to find the elusive 19th century searcher shaft in the tunnel that should lead them to the original money pit. There's enough intriguing information here that lends itself. I think when we come back at this, we have to continue to explore this possibility. Yep, absolutely perfect. Thanks, guys, they got clear. Clear it as a new day begins on Oak Island. Rick, I believe your research center is here. Rick Marty and members of the team. Welcome the arrival of a very timely addition to the island. Oh, look at that, wow. Irving Equipment Limited, the company, which for the past 3 years has become a valuable partner in nearly all of the team's major excavations, has helped arrange for one of its affiliates, Kent Homes, to temporarily donate one of their prefabricated residential dwellings to the island. It will serve not only as a library to house the records of Zena Halpern, but also as a research centre, where people interested in Oak Island and its history can come and work. I'm very grateful myself. I think that Oak Island is a very special place. And as part of that, we welcome Irving as part of the Oak Island story. Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to be a part of this. Anything we can do on our end will gladly help support you on that great, fantastic. Let's have a look. Very nice fact. Really nice. It'll be nicer when there's computers, maps, conference tables, monitors that always expose the belief that we need a proper research centre. We all really want answers to the mystery. Then we need to have a place where real research can be done. Realize you're going to look to the past to move the search forward. All I would take is one little discovery and one little obscure piece of paper and turn everything, make it all worth that. It's a great start for what we're trying to achieve. I agree with the new research centre in place. Rick Lagina and Charles Barkhouse are joined by fellow Oak Island enthusiasts, Doug Crowell and Paul Trotman. Wow Dog's already got it set up. Yeah, they have come to help unpack the vast collection of research materials, most of which Rick has recently inherited from his late friend Zena Halpern. Look at that. It's all annotated, you know. Notes. It's incredible. One of the greatest things about Folk Island is you meet interesting, wonderful, captivating people. And this commitment, this passion, this desire to learn, it changes in his life. Yeah. She added notes on top of what was currently there. Notes on top of notes. We'll have to see how it ties in more with Oak Islands as work on the new research centre progresses. Jack Begley, Peter Finetti, a metal detection expert, Gary Drayton, head to Lot 21, located on the western side of the island, so we should be able to bring back a ton of stuff from here. Let's get to it. Yep. It was while searching this same lot just 3 weeks ago that Gary, along with Rick Lagina, made one of the team's most astonishing discoveries today. Oh my gosh. He's another Bobby Dazzler. Look, a gold-plated brooch, which was later determined to be as much as 700 years old. They're trying to winkle a good target here. That is what a button or a coin would sound like. Just an airmate. Come on, B. Something good. Maybe be something good. Tell whatever it is. What is that that's got some designs on? Yeah, that is... Oh, that's cool. You know what? This reminds me of like a cat badge. A military cat badge. This would have been a decoration on a cap. It would have been on the front. And it's a top pocket. Finally, in we go. All right, and we'll see if there's any more parts to it. Got another signal in the top. Be a little bit more gentle with this one. This time I'm hoping it's more of the same. Oh, it is, yes. Oh man, look at that. I could, before I move, I could see the fleur-de-lis. That is definitely, see if it fits on there, it does. It's definitely a fit like a glove. Well, look at that design on there. They look like fleur-de-lis. For very, very similar. That's a French design. This would date to the 1700s, a badge, and possibly from the cap of an 18th century French military officer's uniform. But if so, what is it doing on Oak Island, and could have some connection to the gold brooch discovered in the same area? Earlier this year, French military baby, yeah? And what was they either put in here or searching for or protecting? Definitely a top pocket. Fine guys. Later that same day, Rick and Charles, along with Craig Tester and Dave Frankenship, head over to the Money Pit site, where the team from Choice Drilling has already begun coring a new borehole known as IJ 5.5. An area chosen due to its close proximity to Gal, one of the team's most promising shafts to date. Hey guys, I'm absolutely interested in drilling this position called IJ 5.5, in search of the long sought-after coming between Shaft 6 and the Money Pit. After that collapse in 1861, the Money Pit location was lost. Ever since then, there's only been a guess, an educated guess, mind you. But if we can find that tunnel, I think that's the way to uncorkscrew the Money Pit. So Brenna, we're at 59. Right? That's correct. 59. Reason why this one is interesting, when we drilled the Gal hole. Yep, we found in the spoils, we find a very old spike, and we found a gold-plated button. That's our spot right there. That's where Gal is, Gal. Num 2 years ago, in an effort to locate the original Money Pit, the Oak Island team excavated a 40-inch wide exploratory shaft, which was named in honor of Rick and Marty's parents, George and Anne Lagina. Gal 1, we've got coin. Honest to God, a coin out of this spoils pot. It was while searching the spoils from this hole, which was done to a depth of 160 feet, that the team made a number of significant discoveries. It says play, and it's a bolt including a gold-plated 18th century British military button, a 300-year-old iron rosehead spike, and a mysterious metal hinge believed to have come from some kind of large box or vault. Maybe that was part of the degree field. I never thought twice about it. Did you know? Because we didn't know where it came from. Okay, maybe today we'll find the one thing. Yeah, that's the home early, the next day. As the team from Choice. Drilling continues the coin operation at 4 hole. IJ 5.5. Wow, they're really coming along. Yeah, we're Rick Lagina, Charles Barkhouse, and Dan Henske. Check on the progress of the massive steel confidam being constructed at Smith's Cove. Wow, quite impressive. It's fucking good. You know, I have high hopes for that area, yeah. So bring us up to speed. How is it going if you encountered, the problem? The potential problem is, always would have you encountered any of that. No wood yet. No little harder tales and clay. We're gonna do now, but no wood. You can see the profile. The sheet's right where the corner starts, where they step up about a foot or so. That's where the hard tails are. Yeah. In order to construct a copper dam, both wide enough and deep enough to encircle most of Smith's Cove, the team from Urban Equipment Limited has employed a process known as sheet piling, which uses a powerful hydraulic hammer to drive 40-foot-long steel sheets up to 25 feet deep into the sea bag. Each of these pilots weighing some 50,500 pounds will interlock together to form a 525-foot-long, watertight barrier, which when finished will allow the Oak Island team to fully drain and then excavate the approximately 12,000 square foot area. If successful, the team may be able to find not only important historical artifacts like the mysterious LED cross, but also the entrance to the booby-trapped flood tunnel system, which sends ocean water to the Money Pit area, for the purpose of thwarting would-be treasure hunters. How far along do you think we are? After today, we should have 1/3 of the wall completed. Good. I'm buoyed by the fact that we're going to accomplish this. We're going to get Smith's Cove sealed off watertight. Once and for all? If it were up to me, I would start yesterday. The faster this proceeds, the more answers we will gain. And that's the hope. Calling can't wait to see it completed. And we can get our hands dirty. Sure, yeah. I know you got a lot of work to do. The guys are busy, so good luck. Rest of the day. Stay safe. See you later, guys. Thank you. Later that day. Come on in. Marty Lagina, his son Alex, and local archaeologist Laird Niven arrive for a meeting at the new Oak Island Research Center. Hello, gents. Hey, how you doing, buddy? I got Lairded. So they have been invited by Gary Drayton and researcher Paul Troutman to inspect Gary's most recent discoveries on Block 21. Gary, I understand you have some TPFs for us? Yeah, top pocket. Fine, I have. I'm always excited when you say that. So let's have a look. Well, first of all, I'll have to tell you where this came from. Yep, Lot 21. So I won't tease you any longer. And it's in the top pocket, all right? Check this out. Both pieces were found in the same area. What do you think of that lid? Oh man, look at that interesting... I think what this is a cap or a hat decoration, a military uniform piece. That's kind of the shape of a granatier's hat is, replicating that. And the French influence as well. Yeah, if that's French, then obviously the first thing you think of is the ship's log and the Duke d'Anville and all that connection. I found 8 pages of a ship. What looks like a ship's log last year. Oak Island researcher Dunk Crown presented the team with information taken from a centuries-old ship's log, and it was the detailed account of a failed French naval expedition in 1746 LED by the Duke d'Enville, a descendant of a family connected to the Knights Templar. The log also documented the construction of what was described as a deep treasure shaft, dug on a wooded island, and then filled with millions in gold and precious jewels. It has been agreed that a deep pit be dug the pit, to have a secret entrance by a tunnel from the shore. Think, I mean, a great quantity of treasure, and that they appear to be in this bay. What troubles me is how perfect this is. Interesting enough, the Duke d'Anville. His real name was John Baptiste Louis Frederick de Rochefoucauld. Could this French military badge, which Gary believes dates back to the 1700s, be physical evidence that the Duke d'Anville actually came to Oak Island, the same Duke, and Ville, whose ancestors were believed by Zena Halpern to be key players in the Oak Island treasure mystery? Is that the only potential French thing we found on the island? It is for me as far as I know. Every time you find some Gary, it expands the possibilities, not shrinks them more questions and answers. Good. Let's see where the trail leads us. I need some bigger top pockets. As the drilling of borehole. IJ 5.5 continues at the Money Pit. Hello, hello. Randall. Yeah, Marty and Rick Lagina. Take a phone call in the war room. Yeah? You got Marty and Rick. How are you for nearly 2 decades? Acclaimed author Randall Sullivan has been investigating and writing about the Oak Island mystery. 2 years ago, he paid a special visit to the island in order to conduct research on a book Just imagine if the ghosts of the 19th century could see this one, which he intends will be the most comprehensive and authoritative ever written about the 223-year-old treasure hunt. It astonished me how many people didn't know about the story and were completely entranced by it, and the story just didn't go away. 'Cause the mystery is not gone away. And that's actually what engages me in terms of writing a book. It's the story and the mystery of it that is really compelling. Well, you too share that. So what can we do for you? I was hoping you guys would talk a bit, obviously about the stuff you found last summer, which seems to me like the most interesting assortment of finds that people have made on the island, in decades, really, where you think it's going to lead this year. I'll say this. They're probably the most puzzling finds. That's for sure the most significant ones around we think are the human bones. I mean, even for a skeptic like me, it's just hard to come up with a plausible reason that those things were that deep underground. And then we have that very strange medieval cross. I think those are the two biggies for the year. Yeah, do you see a connection? Well, there's a good question. That's why they're so strange. No, I don't really see a connection between those two, other than drawing the obvious conclusion that something rather extraordinary happened here. It's an island of what-ifs and possibilities. And it continues to remain, so, your favorite theory was Francis Bacon. Are you still there? Have you uncovered anything more that Francis Bacon has a connection here? I mean, I certainly explored that. Yes, I do think I have a lot of information about that. I still get the sense there was something going on that was spread over time and might involve literally generations, people with Oak Island, and the Bacon theory kind of ties into that for me. But as you guys know, Oak Island is just this unending revelation. Yeah, isn't that mad? Nick, this is quite interesting. I'm looking forward to reading your book. I assume we get an autographed copy, right? Can't permit. I was hoping to deliver a treat myself. That would be great. Randall Sullivan is clearly an Oak Island, a fashion auto, the fact that he's now writing a book. I very much look forward to reading it. I've always believed that the Oak Island story is quite remarkable, and I hope he doesn't justice anyway. Randall, look, we wish you the very best. Absolutely. See ya. Take care. Thank you, guys. Yeah, bye later, that same day. Rick Lakina joins Craig Tester, Dave Blankenship, and Charles Barkhouse as they head to the money pit to check on the progress of borehole IJ 5.5 a hole, which they believe intersects a 157-year-old surgery tunnel known as Shaft 6. If their assumption is correct, the team should be able to locate not only the original money pit, but also what they hope is a massive underground debris field. How you doing? How deep are we? We're down about 89 feet. 89 feet. The hope is that this is the area where the tunnel to the money pit is. Have 6 tunnel, well, from my perspective, it's right in ground that we haven't been in before. So if we can stay straight, we'll hit a target that we haven't seen in any other hole. There's no question that today there's some excitement in the air. Certainly anticipation if there's something to be found in the money pit. It's in the tunnel that connects Shaft 6 to the original money. And the hope is that this is indeed the location. Oh, here we go, 111. Carol, 111. Cruising sit through to me. Yeah, it does. Oh, that's interesting. We got chunk of wood. Got wood here too. It's hard to say. Oh, well, drilling in. Borehole IJ. 5.5. Rick Lagina and members of the Oak Island team have just made a potentially significant find. The horizontal Rick. Yeah, I think he hit the tunnel from Shaft 6. They have just discovered evidence of what appears to be a wooden beam, bound at a depth of 111 feet, a depth which, according to historical records, matches that of Shaft 6. the 157-year-old searcher tunnel that they believe can lead them directly to the original Oak Island money pit. I think it's worth calling Marty Craig. You want to just give Marty a call. What's up, guys? We think we found. One of the sides of Tunnel 6 is now finding the middle. And is there any gold inside of it? Yeah, because you don't know which side to go on. Craig would like to go west first. I'm okay with that. But I think we need to... Obviously, we need to go east as well, to try to define it all. You have to do is find one thing, then we chase the tunnel. And there's your money. Pit bingo. We'll stay at it. Keep me posted. But also, I'm good, okay? All right, okay, guys, thanks for the update. Sure thing, try again. Today was a good day on Oak Island. In my opinion, they do believe we're in a tunnel, and if we are, it's been hard, one hard fought. He's been looking for this debris field since we started, so it moves the dial a little bit. You find that tunnel. You'll find the money pit. I really believe this is the tunnel from Shaft 6 now. It's just finding out, did the treasure chest shoot into this tunnel? Yep, there's something in 6. Let's find it. Okay, thank you. After a day that saw the Oak Island team make promising new discoveries, both at the Money Pit and Lot 21, Rick Lagina welcomes a very special visitor to the island. Devon, welcome. How you doing, buddy? Devon Halpert is the son of late author and researcher, Zena Halpert. He has come to see the place where his mother's decades of research materials have now found a new home. The Oak Island Research Center. Sit down. Please, please, thank you. I hope the trip went well. Yes, absolutely. Waiting for you to arrive. Doug was speaking about your mom for us. She's still alive. She's still within here. And still within here. And, my life has been enriched by meeting her. I'm just really happy that she's been taken in as part of this family. There was something that she wanted you to have. And I brought something with me. So, when you visited, if you remember, there was this candlestick. So this was a precious artifact that my mom brought back from one of her travels. Oh, I don't know if she was tracing back to some Hebrew relative of hers. I can tell you, it was an absolute honor and a privilege to bring this personally here. And be here. It's really humbling for me. I'm humbled, stunned, appreciative. All I can say is thank you. Because it's a part of your mum here that has now come to reside on Oak Island, when we receive something from a person that we care about. It's not about that item. Memories flood back, the understanding of who that person is comes alive. And in that moment, I reconnected with her. Surely she touched each and every one of us, and to that end, we're very grateful. I'm so happy to see that her work is being appreciated, and it's likely not going to end with her. I think we all commit to this, that her research will endure. It will not end with her. I know how much she deeply cared about you and everybody here. And I know that she's looking down on this right now, and she's really happy. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it, man. And I will tell you this. There's about one time. This candle will be lit when we have the answers, because of her work. Awesome. And you will be here in this room when that lights up. I will commit to that. Absolutely for Rick Marty and the Oak Island team this week. More than any other, has reminded them of the debt they owe to all the hard work done by those who came before them. For it is through countless hours of digging, as well as years of fact-finding and research, that the Oak Island story has been preserved, and the keys to a possible breakthrough may very well exist. Perhaps not in plain sight, or even deep underground, but hidden within books and manuscripts, or maybe on a simple piece of paper, written in code next time. On the Curse of Oak Island, The Jolly Rancher was originally a Templar symbol. Some of them became pirates. I am very excited to see. Some sort of chamber in the megabit area. Gonna be wood, I don't think. So, it's pretty dense. And there's a plate covering out something that's gonna be huge. You have this LED artifact. Can you actually put a precise location on it? I think I get some pretty interesting results for you. It is the most historic thing that's maybe ever happened. Was America Tonight on the Curse of Oak Island. The Jolly Rancher was originally a Templar symbol. Some of them became pirates. I am very excited to see some sort of chamber. Down the Megabin area? Gonna be wood? I don't think so. It's pretty dense if there's a plate covering up something that's gonna be. You have this LED artifact. Can you actually put a precise location on it? I think I got some pretty interesting results for you. It is the most historic thing that's maybe ever happened in North America. There is an island in the North Atlantic where people have been looking for an incredible treasure for more than 200 years. So far, they have found a stone slab with strange symbols carved into it, mysterious fragments of human bone, and an LED cross whose origin may stretch back to the days of the Knights Templar. To date, 6 men have died, trying to solve the mystery. And according to legend, 1 more will have to die before the treasure can be found. It is the start of a new and challenging day on Oak Island. You order this? No, certainly didn't. But despite battling strong winds and heavy rain, brothers Rick and Marty Lagina and their team remain determined to continue progress on one of their most ambitious and expensive search operations. Ever the excavation at Smith's Cove. How's it going? We're experiencing some pretty hard driving right now. Oh yeah, really. Yeah, see, those 2 are a little bit higher on the... Yeah, the last one that we just drove taller one down there in the end. Did you think he hit a boulder there, or is it just... No, it's really dense tail. Is what it is. Like it's really, really dense. Dense stuff using more than 100 sections of steel sheet piling the team. From Irving Equipment Limited is constructing a massive 525-foot-long cofferdam that will fully seal off the cove from the ocean, allowing for it to be completely drained and excavated down to a depth of 10 feet. It is Rick and Marty Lagina's hope that by excavating the cove and carefully examining the spoils, they and their partners will be able to find new, important clues and artifacts. Artifacts such as the medieval LED cross that Rick and Gary Drayton found here last year that will help them solve the 223-year-old Oak Island treasure mystery. They also hope to be able to locate and shut off an ancient flood tunnel system that feeds seawater into the money pit, and which many believe has prevented searchers from being able to find and retrieve the fabled Oak Island treasure. As I see the perimeter of Smith's Cove being enclosed, I'm very happy. I think we have a very unique opportunity here, and this structure will allow us to, once and for all, properly investigate it. In its entirety. What's your goal for today? Then put in more false work, or just run sheets. We're going to concentrate on the sheeting for now, and then tomorrow we'll concentrate on more frame, and then more sheets. Again, makes sense. So, all in all, the only thing you want to change for tomorrow is the weather. Yes, you need help. You give me a call, I will. As the construction of the cofferdam continues at Smith's Cove, Rick Lagina and members of the team have gathered in the war room to discuss an exciting development, one which they hope will shed new light on the origin of their most incredible find. To date, the mysterious LED cross. So guys, everybody is well aware of the cross. You know, Gary's smiling as we speak. He's made sure everybody knows about it. Well, we've got something for you to look at. Yeah, very nice. 6 weeks ago, Rick Lagina and Craig Tester arranged for the cross to be tested at the University of New Brunswick using a process known as laser ablation. A microscopically small portion of the cross was irradiated with a laser beam in an effort to determine not only the exact chemical makeup of the cross, but where the lead may have come from. The results were astounding. So the lead cross is not from North America. Wow, now with this evidence, if you will, it's not North American lead. It certainly doesn't eliminate the possibility that this is indeed a Templar connection. So in order to further the testing, we reached out to the German Mining Museum. Charles, why don't you call him up and we'll see what he can tell us. Oh, Tobias, hi guys, how you doing? Good, how are you? Tobias Skowronek is a geochemist at the German Mining Museum in the city of Bochum. Established in 1930, the museum boasts a preeminent research archive in the field of mining archaeology, and is renowned for its vast database of metals and other mineral deposits throughout the ancient world. We're very grateful for whatever assistance you can provide us. I think you have a basic understanding of our situation. We have this LED artifact. Okay. And what we would like to know is how can you help us? We're looking for perhaps, or body signature, perhaps dating of the artifact. If you already measure the isotopes using laser application, then I only need the data to tell you where the ledge for this cross was croyed from. Can you actually put a precise location on it? Or is it like a regional definition, if you will? That depends. Of course, how good the data is. If the data is pretty good, then we can assign this to a single quarry. If it's, okay. Then it's just, some area like that you say it's from England or from Central Europe, something like that. Is there any way to date the item? If you know from which quarry the cross came, then you can, say when this glory was in use. So it all depends on how good our data is. Yeah, right. I guess the next question is, are you interested in participating in this project? Of course, I'm very much interested in it. I'm looking forward to this. Of course, well, look, I think on our end, we would certainly like to avail ourselves of your expertise. We shall send the data files on. We will send pictures of the artifact. And we very much look forward to your result. Yeah, very excited for the data. And I hope that I can help you. Thank you very much. Thank you as Rick Lagina arranges for the LED cross data to be sent to the German Mining Museum, Craig Tester, and Charles Barkhouse. Arrived at the so-called Megabin area located some 600 feet northeast of the Money Pit site. Now we don't want that pipe to slide back there. It was the same area where recently conducted seismic testing had identified a large and mysterious void, and where veteran treasure hunter Dan Blankenship believed he had located a centuries-old latrine pit. Dan's latrine hole, to me, is way more exciting than anything that could be potentially imaged in the Money Pit, because this is in an undisturbed area from a searcher standpoint. If you're going to dig a toilet facility in an underground chamber, it's because men are working there. And Blankenship came to an understanding, our belief that there were tunnels and rooms associated with that area. So we believe it's worth looking into investigating. In an effort to locate a possible underground chamber, the team is using a process known as sonic drilling, which employs powerful vibrations to create a high-frequency sound capable of grinding its way through layers of rock and earth. A quarry barrel is then used to take samples at intervals of every 10 feet. These core samples will then be transferred into plastic sleeves, just like making sausage. Yeah, so that they can be scanned with a metal detector before being carefully surged by hand. So deep you're going on this. The main target is around 50 feet. but we'll probably go to 100. Want to get through the main targets to dance found in this general area after finding evidence of what he believed to be an old latrine pit. Dan Blankenship and his company, known as the Triton Alliance, drilled some 40 exploratory boreholes in an effort to locate any underground tunnels that might connect directly to the money pit, in addition to finding pieces of metal wire. Dan's most astonishing discovery came in October of 1973, when his drilltory, a mysterious 65-foot-long wooden structure laid out in the shape of a U. Unfortunately, before Dan could fully expose and examine the possibly ancient man-made formation, a series of violent storms compromised the Dan, bringing the operation to a bigger home. I wish I could have gotten inside of Dan's brain. You can see in his eyes that he's marveling at the enormity, the scale of the project, how much work was being done, and his mind had to wander back to, if only I had that, if only I could have access to this, if only I would have had the man part. I would guess there was a bit of wistfulness in Dan that, if only, but I think he's looking forward to what we uncover. I'll tell you one thing. They were off of cover. Yes, they were styming people for 223 years. You bet they were clever as construction of the cofferdam continues at Smith's Cove. Some 200 yards northwest. We're getting close to target W. Craig Tester, Charles Barkhouse, Gary Drayton and geologist Terry Matheson continue to monitor the progress of their drilling operation at the Megabin site, the area where recent seismic scanning revealed the presence of a massive 175-foot-long chamber, some 50 feet beneath the surface. Yeah, from seismic, we think about 50 feet's our target. So, we're at 40 basically. So we started looking really close from here on down, because seismic's not that perfect. Yeah, so let's take a good look. Hopefully we find something here. Very soon. So we're at 48, 53, 53 to 58. Put that patient on the table, please. I think I'm going to have to operate quick to go for it, and then look, that's different. It's very dry, yeah. It's just sandy. So you get these even within a major glacial phase. You'll get slight period where there's been some thought, and you'll get a sandy stream running down through, where all the fine material is down the stream. To me, from a seismic standpoint, this may be the anomaly they were seeing. It's possible, although it is not uncommon, to encounter a sudden change in soil from dense layers of clay to loosely packed sand. The fact that it occurs at nearly the same depth where seismic scanning detected a large anomaly is a troubling sign. Seismic technology relies on the measurement of sound waves to identify a blunt material changes below ground. What may appear to be a potential chamber or void may actually be little more than a different type of earth. Went from a very, very dense clay into a soft, unconsolidated sand. And I think that's what the seismic was seeing. It was reflecting off when it went from a hard clay to a softer sand. I don't think it hurts us too much to try to go a little deeper. What do you think? Yeah, I want to go deeper. Although the anomaly has proven to not be, Avoid the team will now drill deeper in an effort to find evidence of the old latrine pit that Dan Blankenship believes he discovered more than 40 years ago. I'm excited to see what's coming yet, because we're in an area where historically there has been some evidence that man might have been here underground. So we've got a target that we're going to drill for. What do you think is? We're going to cut her off at about 100, 120. Or, which probably 120. Yeah, let's see what we got. Yeah, sounds good as a new day begins on Oak Island. Begins on Oak. And as drilling continues at the Megabin area, brothers Rick and Marty Lagina, along with members of their team, welcome an important visitor to the war room, the gentlemen today, we welcome Judy to the War Room, and she comes to us by way of Zena. She's worked with Zena on her research for over 10 years, and she's here to inform us about some of her research. Judy Rudbush is a former colleague and research partner of Rick's dear friend, the late author Zena Halbun, who recently passed away. These maps are part of the template document for the past 2 years. Zena was an invaluable resource to Rick Marty and the team she provided them, not only with compelling theories based on her decades of exhaustive research, but also a copy of a 14th century map of Oak Island, which she believed had been made by members of the Knights Templar. Having worked closely with Zena for more than a decade, Judy has graciously agreed to aid Rick and the team in their study of Zena's best collection of research materials. Judy has reached out and made contact with an authoress, Gretchen Cornwall, and she has written a very insightful book. It's called The Secret Dossier of a Knight Templar of the Sangreal. And in that context, I will turn it over to Judy. When I first got a hold of Gretchen, after I had seen some things that she had written, and we've been corresponding now for quite a while. And the person that she wrote it with, John Temple. John is a direct hereditary descendant of Templars, and I think they've got something interesting to tell us as far as ancient Templars coming to America. So with that, Jack, why don't you make this connection to Gretchen and John? Well, good morning. Good morning. Hi, guys. I guess it's afternoon there, actually, isn't it? Well, good afternoon then. Okay, based in the United Kingdom, John Temple, a member of the modern-day Order of the Knights Templar, and author Gretchen Cornwall have worked together for over a decade, researching the history of the Templars and their vast legacy in her 2016 book, The Secret Dossier of a Knight Templar of the Sangreal. Gretchen presented what she referred to as a secret record, which was passed down through generations of John Temple's family, and which purports to document the survival of the Templar Order following their persecution and disbandment in France during the 13th century, early 14th century. I was going to try to give you an overview of our perspective at history, okay? The Templars, when they were outlawed in 1307 to 1312, they were young, they were healthy, they had their craft, their navigation abilities. They were just going to disappear into a puff of smoke, because a king in France wanted them to, No, they took to the seas, and someone to Scotland, someone to northern England. They returned to Nova Scotia. Some of them became pirates because they felt they've been betrayed. What's your theory on this? St. John the Baptist is the patron saint of the Templar Knight Order. And of course, he was famously beheaded. Yeah, that's how the Jolly Roger became a pirate symbol. It's actually originally a Templar symbol, and it represents John the Baptist, the skull and crossbones, also known as the Jolly Roger, a symbol representing the severed head of St. John the Baptist. According to historical and biblical records, John the Baptist was a preacher and prophet who lived in the ancient kingdom of Judea during the 1st century. AD, revered as a major religious figure and Christian saint. He foretold the coming of Jesus Christ as a Messiah and famously baptized him in the waters of the River Jordan. However, after publicly condemning King Heritage Galilee for unlawfully taking a second wife, John the Baptist was imprisoned and later ordered beheaded by the king's vengeful wife, Herodias. There are many who believe that the Knights Templar, while defending Christian pilgrims and fighting for control of the Holy Land during the Crusades, came into possession of the skull of St. John the Baptist,